What's up, everybody? I'm Giovanni Russo, and this is the Media Mogul News Hour. Thank you for tuning in again. And my guest for today is Qwanell Mosley, aka Q from Day 26. And I'll describe him as what Selena Johnson from Sister Circle said that him and the group, these boys don't harmonize, they be singing. So, Q, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Welcome to the show. So, listen, the first time that we saw you on television, you were making the band. And so I don't know if I ever heard your backstory about what you were doing before then.
Yeah, a
Do
little
you
bit
mind?
of backstory. Let's see. Before making the band, let's see. I went to school of the arts, and then when I graduated from high school, I went to a college called Five Towns College, and there I studied music, engineering, and like business for like a
Okay.
semester and a half, though.
Yeah, because you were young. I mean, you came on it like at 20, so.
Yeah, so it was like a semester and a half, and then I auditioned for making the band four, and then that happened. So I kind of like left school and focused on making the band four.
Right. Absolutely understand. So how was the audition process?
The audition process was crazy. It was definitely an experience, and I would tell anybody who wants to audition for anything like making the band four to definitely try it out because it's a one in a lifetime experience, man. Like it's everything that you can imagine. If you're a singer or
Okay.
artist, you know what I'm talking about when you go for these auditions, what you look for. It was everything, man. Like as far as like the TV production, the cast, like Lorianne Gibson, Michael Bibbins, B.
Yeah.
Cox, Martin Winans, P. Diddy, of course. Everybody that was a part of it, it was just like amazing, man. Like I wouldn't regret it for anything in the world. I wouldn't take it back.
Okay. That's really good to hear. Just, compared to how news has been going lately. I mean, I looked up just last month and I said it's open season on Diddy again. And I was looking around and I was like, what is going on? And I'm listening to, some of the complaints and accusations. And I said, it's the same thing again. And we just did this 10 years ago. And then like, the 10 prior to that. Um, so with that being said, how is it that you managed to make it through this show and you appear to have a different outlook or a different perspective than a lot of the really wild things that have been said on television lately?
Yeah, man. I think there's a certain professionalism that you carry once you become a part of a franchise or a situation. So,
Hmm.
like, as far as me and my outlook of making the band four, I'm just very thankful, man, because it was definitely an experience, and it could have been someone else. Like
Right.
millions of people, man, like millions of people, and I got chosen out of six people to be a part of a group. So, like, to not be thankful is like I don't know. It'll feel like a bunch in the face for myself. For me not being
Right.
thankful. And that's how I look at it. And also you have to when you carry that professionalism, you have to protect your thoughts and what you say. So you always
Right.
have to make sure that you're saying positive things. You know what I mean? So that if anything comes back, you're always looked at as something. You said something great. You didn't look at it as something negative. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's a very good perspective to have, just professionally, going through the business, in life in general. And I think that you made it through something like 48,000 people, I
Yeah,
believe.
a lot of people.
I mean, that's an accomplishment
Yeah,
just in and of itself. And I feel that no matter how things might have gone, and of course, you had your challenges as would anyone, and especially at 20 years old,
yeah,
that's big followed by cameras, having people who are older than you, almost 10 years older than you, prodding. um, I think that you had reacted the way that any of the rest of us would,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
And when I acted a fool on TV, man, that was just me being a young adult. You know what I'm saying, man? Like everybody
Yeah.
goes through things, and unfortunately, mine got displayed on TV, and I don't care. Like I say, I look at it all as good. Because everything is a growing
Hmm.
process. when I look back at that and I look at myself now, I say, wow, Q, you matured a lot, man. Like, especially when it comes down to handling my business.
Right.
I just handle it a certain different type of way.
Right. And I'll say that with myself being a journalist, uh, when it comes to addressing or covering people who are younger or in the 18 to 20-year old range, I tend to tell other people or my peers to kind of back off. It's like you're punching down.
Yeah,
Who wants to pick on a teenager?
that's true.
And I felt the same way for some older people that were in the house. And I'll add, for the situation you were dealing with, I know that you had a scenario with your family that I wanted to ask you about. But when you know that someone is having, either be it financial issues or high stress level, it's probably not a good idea to poke at people who appear to have nothing to lose, because you likely have something to lose by messing with it. So what was the scenario that was going on with your family? You want to catch us up for those who missed it.
We weren't really in a really bad situation, but we were in the process of moving. And our
Mm-hmm.
manager at the time was helping us with housing. So all of a sudden he says, we can't move in the house when we've moved everything out of our original house. He came to our house and set up everything. Like, this man actually came to Rochester. So like in the middle of the show, he gave me a phone call and he told me or my family, I forgot. But he says, we can't move in the house because of rain damage or something like that. So we were like, huh? We were just so confused.
That is a headache.
Yeah, it was just a
Beyond the headache.
Yeah, man. So it put us in a very bad situation where we had to find another person to give us a house because we moved all our stuff out of this house that we were in. So it was just crazy, man. So we weren't really necessarily financially down. It was just that the circumstance that he put us in a situation,
Right.
And me trying to do the TV show too, and trying to make sure that my
Right.
was okay, and me being so young at the age, I don't know, it was just fresh and new for me. So I had to handle all of that. So I guess a 20-year-old, handling all that, could be a lot.
It can be, and I admit, as far as, and I have to give it to you, because as far as like living arrangements, that is probably one of my biggest fears. Like, I've known people who have like bought homes like a short sale, and then something happened, and they've moved things out, and they can't move inside of the house for 45, 90 days or something. That's ridiculous. And again, a lot for a 20-year-old. I know that someone else in the show has said that that's not your responsibility to take care of a family. You're 20. And how do you tell that to someone with their responsibility? A lot of times people don't, realize the responsibilities of other people.
I remember that comment when someone said, it's not my responsibility to take care of my family. And to clear that up, I wasn't necessarily taking care of my family. It was the fact that Screwface, our manager, had came to Rochester and promised me a situation, and I trusted him. And I really trusted him that he would follow through with his word. When you're not a man of your word, that's not a good thing, to be not a man of your word. People don't fuck with you when you're like that. So he kind of just threw me all off when he called me in the middle of the season of the show, maybe because he felt the type of way because of how I was coming at him as far as management and him not doing correctly by day 26. Mm-hmm. He probably felt some type of way, but at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with, this separate your business. This was one business and day 26 was another business.
Right.
My family and what we were going through was one separate thing. Day 26 was another thing. You could have separated, and we could have went through with what you promised.
Right. And that was a big deal. I mean, that involved other people's lives. So, I mean, I completely get it. And of course, that gives a little more perspective on things. Now, what is this, 13 plus years later?
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. I finally got my answer. Go ahead.
I don't respect to him anymore because that's all in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
we're so in another place now. Like we make great music, man. Like Day 26 is the bomb. So like all that screw face and the drama, we really left that in the past.
That's good. I mean, that's again, this conversation is just much different from a lot of your former peers. Now, for those who are making some of the complaints, accusations, etc., they mostly came out of the second season um, with the group The Band, where I think this started with Freddie P talking about hating life because of this. Again, complete 180 with the both of you. Um, what do you think the difference between the seasons were? That just a season before, 2 seasons before, it could be people who are traumatized 2 decades later, and here it is that you're grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll say this. When for anybody that's signing up to do a TV show, when you're signed up to do a TV show, you have to be open-minded. You have to have a
Mhm.
personality. You can't be like shut down. So you have to be like willing to do extreme things sometimes, like walking to get cheesecake middle of the night, for maybe it didn't feel right, but it made sense for the camera. It made
Right,
sense for the ratings. Not necessarily it was him making you walk to get cheesecake, but you signed up to do this TV show, so we got to do what we got to do. And I need to find the people that's going to do what they got to do to make this TV show a number one hit. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's one thought process of looking at it. And another thought process of looking at it is like I said earlier, in all things be thankful, the good and the
Yes,
bad. In every situation that you get in life where God gives you something that you wish and pray for, you should be thankful for it. And just be thankful for it. And don't really complain or blame anybody else for it not working out if it didn't work out. Because at that time it was working out. And
right,
if you put yourself in real time, you still can make it, man. That was like 15 minutes of fame for all of us. 15
right,
minutes of fame. But we live in real time. We're real people. We
right.
make real music. We make music that inspires people. We make music that's like therapy. So we have an opportunity to reach millions of more people in our time, in our real time, with our music and stuff like that. So as far as an excuse, I don't have any excuses for making the band for it. It all worked out for me. Like as far as P. Diddy, as far as the production, making the band
Mhm.
for MTV, the cast members and the cast, I have nothing to say bad about anyone because the experience was once in a lifetime. And if I could do it again, I would.
Very good. By the way, Q, would you have walked to get the cheesecake?
We actually had to walk to get cheesecake.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought so.
yeah, but
This has been so long ago. I mean, so look, you all's reaction was not the same as season 2 because I was going over this earlier. I was not going to sit and watch the entire thing or both seasons all over again. But I said, didn't they have to just have to do this too? But I didn't remember it.
yeah, we actually had to walk 5 boroughs in the wintertime. It was so cold, man.
It's not. So the thing is, that's not talked about, which is what's funny. I forgot about this again.
Yeah,
What, 15 years ago?
it's not talked about, and it was very bad, man. So I feel the second season's paid. I don't know if they walked in the summertime or the wintertime, but we definitely walked in the wintertime, and it was bad. It was cold.
Oh my God. One, I can't believe I forgot that. But look, hey, at least they managed to get like publicity for it. That season, Walking to Cheesecake, is still talked about today, and yet I don't ever recall seeing any circulating footage of you all doing this.
Right there's a place. We definitely walked to get that cheesecake, man. And he was like, "We better not mess it up."
And I'll add this. Look, you have a very good disposition on this. With me coming from corporate America, and I work with executives and top people. When I looked at this, like when I heard him fussing about the cheesecake, I was like, I just sat there like blinking, saying that I'm used to this. Like I'm used to working with difficult people. Like I work with attorneys and elected officials, people who like to yell when they don't get their way. And I feel like the key to it is, well, if you don't want to get yelled at, do your job. And that's usually what would handle things.
Yeah, but it's like he wasn't like yelling at us, man. It was like he had to do that because he was making a TV show.
Right.
So it's like,
and some people did do some things to get to get yelled at
some people
from time to time.
yelled at, but it was like for the most part it was a TV show. So we
Right.
need entertainment. We need entertainment. That's how you're gonna get a #1 TV show. You gotta have entertainment. So I didn't take it like that. It's like it was fun to me. It was a joke. It was so much fun. Like it's how you take it. It's all how you take it, man. And like you gotta have tough skin, and you gotta know how to play your role.
Yes, and so look, you name called the choreographer earlier, and I would describe in part some of your role on the show as the time when she got into it with one of the members.
Mm.
You were seen standing in the back, holding your hands together, praying, just saying, just please stop. And your eyes were closed. Just do what the woman said when she stopped, and she went down the line, asking everyone. Get him together. He didn't do it. You silence him. Make it stop. I still see remnants of your personality today. Back then because you were trying to keep them together. And again, it took the youngest person who managed to have the most sense, apparently, at the time while that was going on.
Yeah.
But but still, you did a good job. And so, and even with some of the recent controversies. So as I looked at um, any type of remarks from your season, I only, for one, it seems like it's only one season that's ever trouble. It always seems like it's season two that ever seems to manage to have complaints. But you did have one person from Making the Band 4, Willie, who I believe described the show as exploitation, I think. And then I looked at that and I said, no one else had anything to say. Supposedly, and I said, I am sure that I don't think that the entire cast feels the same way. Because as you said, this was a great opportunity. I mean, this is the reason why we're able to, sit here today, why we know all of your names. Because of the show, for better or for worse. And now, listen, your last, I saw that you posted a single, Take You There, I believe is the name of it.
Yeah, Take You There.
In the fall.
Yeah, it's called Take You There.
Which was very good. I have to say that in listening to that, I said, it's something like, I said, Q is not Mr. B. I mean, I said, he sounds the same as when we first met him, in the late 2000s. And just with that being said, I mean, I definitely hope that there's more. You are talented. I don't have to tell you that. And I believe that if you decided tomorrow, because that was a good single, again, definitely want to hear more, that just to keep the competition going, if you decided to step out tomorrow and compete music-wise with the rest of the group, I think that you could possibly beat them today. I remember you, and I will quote you, when you had a fight with Willie, when in the list of things you accused him of, one of them was being jealous. Look, you posted pictures of being in the studio, so I see that you're in the studio. Yeah. Make sure that you make some more trips in there, and we'll see if that still stands today.
Okay, but we're not being anything. He's not jealous.
I know. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I will say that just because I'm glutton's punishment. But no, I was asked earlier today who what type of show I was doing, and I said so. I'm interviewing Q from Day 26. I don't think that they were as familiar with the show, and I said, and that is who I felt um should have been the band's lead, and so that was how you were introduced earlier today. So yes, you had a good word put in
Thank you, bro.
today. And I do have to ask, so you appear to have been a bit quiet over the last couple of years. So what all has been going on?
Yeah, I didn't take a break or anything. I just was focusing on my group, and I was focusing on my mental health, making sure that was like top notch, and making sure that I was
Absolutely.
really, really in control of this mind thing.
Right.
Mental health is very, very, very important. So I talked to a therapist and I talked to a psychologist to make sure that I'm like okay, and that's
Right.
hey, that's what I've been doing in the last couple of years, just getting my mental health together. Just focusing on the group, focusing on my personality,
Right.
making sure that I don't have tempers or I don't have like two different sides. Focus on
Right.
all of that because people are crazy, man. Like people are
Yeah.
one way, and then the next time you see them, it's like a whole nother person. They're accusing you and blaming you.
Definitely.
And it's like, ah, I don't want to go through none of that. So my time off, I just spent time getting myself together.
That's important. I mean, mental health, of course, is underestimated. More of us need to do that. And look, I mean, just we were talking about this in the pre-show. I mean, the pandemic has been a headache, for everyone. I mean, and there are people who, I mean, the suicide rate is going up. We've had artists who, unfortunately, not made it through it. So, I mean, that's very important that you chose to take the time to look after yourself.
Yeah,
And so, making the band for was what year did this start again?
2007.
Oh God. I feel like I'm aging myself. I've been reciting that number. But if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be? If you could look back at, how things went at the time, what advice would you give yourself?
I would give myself the advice of just keeping it real and just allowing the real to happen because you learn from that. Every experience that you go through is a lesson learned. So I wouldn't really change anything. I would want to go through everything that I went through because I'll be the smart person that I am now. If I didn't go through some of those things, I probably would be somewhere else. I probably would
Yeah.
be a lot smarter, a lot not wise as much as I am today. Um,
Right.
I don't know, it would be totally different. So I wouldn't change the experience and anything that I did in life. You learn from it all.
Hmm.
What you do the next
Absolutely.
time, what you do the next time makes a difference when you learn from it.
Right. Absolutely. And you've been performing for some time. Could you tell us what your favorite on stage moment was? And I'll tell you what yours was of mine when you're done.
Favorite on stage. My favorite on okay, one of my favorite on stage moments is when I had a six pack. I've got a little bigger now. I'm not as skinny as I was, but I had a six pack. I'm working on it now to get that back. But I put water on myself. Like I go in the I do this spin. Let me see. I go and I go. I put water.
Pretty sure the fans like that.
They go crazy. They start screaming. Yeah, that's
Yeah, hey, that's a secret power. Everyone doesn't necessarily get that. I understand. Again, you're in the gym, so it's getting there. I've seen comments of people are saying they can see a difference.
yeah,
So yeah, keep it up.
yeah.
And so mine was you sang with well with the group, but you specifically came out and sang with Patti LaBelle
Oh, I
um,
remember that.
for Lady Marmalade. For Lady Marmalade,
I thought you were talking
and
about the group moment. I didn't know you were talking about like just period.
yeah, just period.
Yeah. Okay. So Patti LaBelle was definitely a moment in life that I remember forever when I came out on stage and sung her. You can go ahead and finish. And
Oh, I was just saying, no, that was great. I mean, anyone who either can go toe to toe with Patty or just has the audacity to try it.
yeah,
That's the other thing. I said, he's got balls today. No, but that was good.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people would have fallen flat with it. And yeah, did anyone else attempt that night?
I don't think so. What happened was Terrence was doing her hair. Was her hair dresser,
Mhm.
and she was asking for some people to come on stage, and I was backstage. She was like, "Q, Q, Q, go, go, go!" And she called me on stage, and I just started like going at it, man. I was just like, "Daddy," I wasn't trying to compete or anything, but I was just captivated in the moment. Like, I can't believe I'm having this opportunity to sing with the Queen.
How could you not? Yes.
So that was definitely an experience and one moment out of my life I remember forever. I agree with you.
Of course. On your wish list of people that you would like to work with. Speaking of which, I mean, if you had the chance to record with Patty, I take it that you that would be. I just would like to put that out in the universe.
Yeah,
Since you've already performed with her, yeah, maybe that could be something to come up in the future.
yeah, that would be phenomenal, man. What?
But who's on your wish? Yeah, but who's on your wish list that you like to perform with?
Okay, let's see. Definitely, like you put that out there. Let's say Patti LaBelle. I love Brandy. I'm a big fan of Brandy. I love her
The
music.
vocal Bible,
Yep, the vocal.
absolutely.
I love. Let's see some male artists who I will collab with. I love Chris Brown. I'm a big fan of his music. Um,
Always the win. Yes.
yep. I love Beyonce, of course. I'm starting to become a fan of like the newer artists. Like I'm a fan of like Chloe. I love Chloe. She's dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like Chloe. Who else? SZA and Summer Walker is all dope. But as far as like collabing, I would say like probably like you said, Patty or like Brandy or Beyonce, or even like Chris. For now,
Absolutely. For now, I'm holding out for the Patty one. I mean, that's I was just watching that not too long ago. I'd seen that years ago, but I forgot about it. Like it scrolled across my timeline earlier, and I said, no, he did his thing there.
yeah,
Someone needs to shoot that message over.
yeah, the crowd loved it too, man. Like I didn't expect that.
I could tell.
They enjoyed it.
And so, listen, there's supposed to be another season of Making the Band that I have not heard much of where that is. I'm assuming it's in limbo, possibly from COVID. I don't know. But would you be interested in having an appearance with that? Or have you had any conversations about it?
Yeah, of course. I think we all would be interested in an appearance on making the band for again, or making the band the franchise again.
Mhm.
It was definitely, like I said, an experience, and I would like to share my experience with new followers, newcomers,
Mhm.
um, and I would say all good things. Just to tell them just to stay themselves, and be humble and
Right.
enjoy the ride, man. You know, share your gift and your personality and let it shine, man. And the rest will speak for itself.
Right. And so look like it, for your time on the show, even though you had your moments, I was thinking about this earlier. I said, but they ignore all of the times that you had to be quiet while everyone else was carrying on. Like they were doing some like serious fighting and like cursing and back and forth, like in close proximity. all the time. Fighting over who's going to the bathroom and who's going to shower in the morning. I was watching that earlier and I said, that is ridiculous. And I looked at you and I said, well, he handled that better than I would because I could just imagine getting out of the bed and saying like, look, either y'all be quiet or I'm whooping both of your asses. And of course it's going to be even worse. That would make things worse. But I said, yeah, like, what about all the other time that you were quiet? You get to have one moment because that's always it when the quiet person snaps. Well, no one can take it. Everyone has to go and run for cover.
Yeah.
So
when this quiet person snaps, they looked at as crazy.
yeah, I mean, because I think the fighters were pretty consistent in their fighting. I mean, like through the entire time, for the most part, it seems. But again, you had like a good like fifth of the time of being, a little excited. As a 20-year-old would be expected, and hey, it is what it is. And I saw you before mention that you looked at this as being like this was fake. I think that was the word you used in an interview. Like this is sort of make believe, and so you're trying to go along with that and realizing that it's not necessarily completely right.
Let me tell you what I mean by that. That it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not fake. But what I mean by it's fake is when, as an actor now, as a performer, when you can do that, make a TV show and get past it and watch it back and say, you know what? I don't have any feelings or any emotions about what just happened. I was
Right.
a cast member, and that was a great show. No matter if it was
Mm-hmm.
filled with drama, filled with great things. If you can look at it like that and keep creating what you started, man, you're building a franchise, and it's so easy to videotape the reality of what's going on and to look at it if you're strong enough. Like, hey, man, that's not real. It's just a TV show, but it's actually going on.
Right.
Look at it so that you're not like mentally like caught up with it. Because if you get caught up with it, it can mess you up, like the comments and the fans not liking you sometimes, or just the media. Yeah. If you get caught up in all that, then you're gonna go downhill, man. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna be
right
and telling the story.
Yeah, you all couldn't watch yourselves back, of course, until the whole season was over.
Correct.
I mean, this is not like some other shows where you can possibly have breaks in between to see some of that.
We didn't have that kind of permission. No, we actually did. We were actually able to watch the show, not the whole entire show together, but like the show the week before the show would come on, we'll be able to see it.
Okay. So I see. Yeah, you spend all that time on it. Kind of only fair to be able to look at a little of it. And so look, I was watching someone's interview earlier where they were talking about what is the purpose of like walking for cheesecake. And so we're back to this 15 to 20-year-old argument about whether this is necessary, whether it contributes to someone's music career, to their the proficiency as a performer. But I do have to say, and you could tell me what you think about it. I mean, checking someone's temperament and whether they're able to follow directions means a lot, because you could have an easy moment. I mean, you could easily have a moment where, say, Diddy could ask someone, "Hey, could you go outside to the bus, go get something and bring it back into me?" And the person not like his attitude and be like, "Oh, bet," and then they decide to detour and like go into a trunk and like come back with a Glock or something. These are moments that are supposed to test you, right, to make sure that you aren't unhinged like that.
Right.
So when the moment actually comes, that you're not just going to spaz out and now like we can't have a show because somebody said that I looked at him wrong.
That's a great point. Look at it. That's crazy. Like your professionalism, like we were talking about earlier, you have to have a certain type of professionalism when you're taking on a job. And if you can't handle the job, then find another job. You signed up, you signed up for something that you can't handle. That doesn't make sense. It usually doesn't work out
Right.
like that. Like they usually say, like when you love your job, you will never work. You know, so
Right.
you love something, and it's just different when you go at it like that. When you have a passion for it and stuff.
Of course. And so I have a bit of advice to ask for you. I'm actually working on a talent search. I told you in the pre-show that I'm working with someone from season two, Mysterious, the person who similarly had an unhinged moment, except it involves her like breaking glass and stuff like that. She goes by Misty Blanco now.
Okay.
She's having a reality series in a national talent search where I'm one of the judges and looking for artists for an opening acts for an 8-state tour for her.
Okay.
Do you have any tips for me as far as what I should look for? You obviously have insight on other group members who you once auditioned against.
Mhm.
Possibly personality traits to look out for. Um, yeah, just curious as someone who's been through this process before.
Okay. So you asking me for like tips on the artist or
Yes, on the artist as far as um, if you were to have the role of finding an artist, what would you say that the ideal type of talent would be?
what you're looking for? Okay. Basically,
Yeah.
you're looking. You want to know. Okay. Do they have the talent? First of all, are
Hmm.
they have the talent? Can they sing? Whatever. Can they dance? Can they rap? That's number one. Is it like crossover? You want to like put that all in play too? Is it pop? Is it like which audience will it reach? Then like you want to look and see their image. You want to like you don't want to like you got to make sense of it. Like
Right.
you gotta be brutal sometimes. But if the person doesn't have the image and they have the voice, sometimes that won't work.
Right.
Sometimes the image overpowers the voice.
Right.
So it's
There's a
certain
lot of that.
yeah, man. So it's just that you gotta look at it certain different ways. Look at the voice, look at the image, look at the personality. See if this person is a star. You know how a star looks when you see a star. That's not hard to find.
Yes.
They have a certain magnet to them. So is this person attractive? Are they attracting the audience? The way that a star
Right.
should attract the audience. You want to look for all those things. But like I would say, like number one and two is like make sure they have the talent and make sure they have the image. And if they really don't have the image, it's kind of
Mhm.
like wasting time unless they really, 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 really have the talent.
Right. To
Because
kind of make up for
in
that.
this industry, unfortunately, it seems like it's about more about the image. If you have a good, beautiful, crazy, sexy image, they don't really care if you can sing. They just want to hear a lullaby, like basic rockabye baby,
Yeah.
something simple.
Yeah, you could say that again. Yeah, as someone who grew up in church and am used to the real singers. Yeah, it's a little hard for me to overlook the talent part.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw you mention in the interview before about experiences of you in church. You didn't happen to sing in church as a kid, did you?
Well, I was brought up in church. I didn't have to stay in church. I wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't strict to me like that. But I was
Right.
brought up in church where I always was in church.
Okay. I didn't know if you did any like choir singing when you were younger or
Yes,
not.
I did do choir singing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a part of a choir called Master's Touch back in high school. And when I was younger, I sung in my family's choir at church. So I was brought up singing in the church. So I would say that's like a root of mine, where my singing come from. Also, when I was in kindergarten, I that's why I said I had this gift since I was like in preschool, kindergarten, because that's when I first sung for my school when I graduated in kindergarten. I sung at the graduation. I sung Mariah Carey's "Hero."
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
That's a doozy.
yeah. And I still have the
In kindergarten.
in kindergarten. So yeah, it started in church, but it started like when I was really, really young. It's crazy.
I mean, that song was tough for Mariah Carey to sing, much less for you to
I
try to do
started
it
singing it
at that age.
I was singing that song like.
I mean, so look, like what I said earlier, like if you were to, like go ground zero running like tomorrow, how I think that you could, blast out some other people. I'm not going to repeat it because I'm not going to.
No,
I'm not going to push. I'm not going to push that. But no, like, hey, if you should try that today. Would you be willing to like sing "Hero" on your Instagram?
oh
Not
yeah,
going to make you do it now, but
should do that over. Like play the rendition of when I was in kindergarten because I have that.
you really,
I have
I
the
want to see that.
I have the tape. I'm gonna post it on Instagram for you, and I'm gonna do a newer edition of it.
Okay. That is amazing. That literally made my day. I absolutely must see that.
Yeah, I'm posting
So
on.
you did. No, that would be great. So you did reality TV once. Would you do it again?
Of course, I would do reality TV again. It's nothing wrong with reality TV. It's nothing wrong with it, and you can't go in it looking for money, man. Like that's another thing. Like, of course, you see everyone else, and you see the industry, and you see this million billion dollar dream that you possibly think if you get in that you're gonna get it too. You
Hmm.
can't go in it thinking like that. You have to totally think differently and go in it for the experience.
Right.
Your experience will make you rich. You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
the lesson that you've learned, your mind is more richer than a dollar. You know what I'm saying? The things you go through when you learn your lesson, I think that's way more better than any type of penny, lesson learned. Because with that lesson learned, you can make tons more money with than what you would have had. You know what I'm saying? Because you've actually learned how to do it correctly.
I think so. So look, for those who are listening, you've heard that. Q said that he's interested in doing reality TV again. Um, and I would like to be the first to vouch to say that I wouldn't mind seeing that, as
Okay.
well as him singing "Hero" on the show. You're absolutely not going to live that one down with me. I mean, gee, have you done any similar ballads besides that?
I
We
not
should make a request. Make a request list. If you're willing to do that one, let me. I have to think up of some.
your hero would definitely be dope though. Hero would be dope. Yeah, and I'm gonna play the kindergarten footage for y'all too, so y'all can get crazy about that. It's really cool.
All right, and so if there's anything that you could, if you had a message that you could leave for Diddy today, now some, I think this makes the 15th year. I think since you all met, probably.
Yeah,
If you had a message for him, what would that be?
a message for Diddy.
Yeah,
What would I say to Diddy? I haven't
since
seen
he's
him.
part of the early part of your history.
Yeah, I would definitely tell him thank you for the opportunity, and I would say let's do a record. Let's get in the
Okay.
let's get in the record. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say.
Yeah.
The opportunity. I wouldn't even say thank you for the opportunity because you already know
Mhm.
I'm thankful for the opportunity. Let's get in the record.
Right.
Shit.
You want one with him?
I would work with him on the solo record. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would work with him. Um, is he one of my favorite rappers? No. But I like his music a whole lot. I would rather
Okay.
like a hardcore rapper like Jay-Z or somebody. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are your rap favorites, by the way?
One of my rap favorites. I love
Hmm.
Jay-Z, Drake's dope. Even a record with like Drake. I don't really consider P. Diddy like a rapper. He's like a pop artist to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, like Drake's dope. J. Cole's dope.
Right.
It's a few.
Absolutely. And look, oh yeah, you can't lose with him. And look, so you were talking about as far as what to look for in an artist, asking whether or not that they are a crossover. I remember a moment where you were trying to do crossover records in J26 that didn't necessarily go over so well in conversation.
Yeah,
Where I think that you were looking to do more pop records, correct?
yeah. The record that
Or what type of direction you were trying to go into?
okay, I'll put you on. We were arguing about Carrie Hilson's record that she put out. It was our record first. The one I never thought I'd
Hmm.
love like this.
Yeah.
That one. It was our record first, and I said it was a hit record. And they thought it wasn't a hit record. They were like, "No, that's not a hit record." Q. I was arguing them down like, "Yo, that's a hit record." And they on the TV show, they ended up playing this space record that sounded so fucking weird. Like, like I was crazy saying that this
uh,
was hot. And I was talking about Carrie Hilson's record that she had put out that went number one.
you were saying that they like edited that to make it look like you were talking about something else.
Anything else, yeah.
That's hilarious. Look, that's TV magic for you.
But it's TV, man. I was like, I wanted to punch it. When I saw that it was coming on TV, make a point. This is Carrie. This is Carrie.
Well, but come to think of it, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if was it like a clearance issue? Maybe,
No,
maybe.
our record
Yeah.
first. It was.
Oh well, never mind.
I
Hey,
think
I was trying to defend them there. I guess that didn't work.
the male singing it too. It wasn't a female singing it. It was a male
Okay,
singing it. So it sounded like a male record. But then when she did it, of course, it sounds like a female record.
right.
But it was.
Well, which, yeah, and also I think you all performed together. Was it last Valentine's Day? I don't think it was this one.
Yeah, we performed with Carrie, and it was a Carrie and Bow Wow show.
Yeah, I mean, Carrie's still a favorite of mine.
Oh, Carrie is dope. Oh my gosh, Carrie! I forgot about Carrie Hilson. Like saying I would collaborate. I would collaborate with her. There's so many people, man.
Yeah.
Name them all, man. Forgive me if I did not say your name. I want to work with whoever is incredible and dope. Whoever got the new heat. That's who I would work with.
And I'm adding, look, putting that one out there as well. Carrie Hilson, if you're if you're listening,
Yeah.
that collab would be great. And again, I mean, amazing artist I absolutely love. I still listen to all of our music.
Yeah.
And so, do you mind telling us what we might happen to have to look forward to look forward from you in the near future?
Yes, I'm definitely putting out more music. Expect
All right.
day 26, a lot of
Looking into it.
announcements with day 26.
Okay.
And just expect just new music, man. And hopefully a new image with myself and the group. A new image and a
Okay.
fresh start. Something that can get the fans excited and in a craze again.
Right.
Yep, we want to go number one again. So, and I want to go number one.
Absolutely. We want you to. I think that I might make a short checklist of maybe a couple Mariah Carey songs just because you mentioned it.
Oh yeah, that would be dope. I'm
Just to
Mariah
see.
Carey. For real, I think I'm gonna cover some Mariah Carey, starting with that hero.
Look, my eyes are open. I absolutely want to see that happen.
Yeah,
There's not too many people who are willing to even touch that line.
yeah, that's true.
And yet you're doing it.
That's true.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, expect to see me in the comments. I'm holding you to that one. All right. So look, I don't want to hold you, but I want to thank you for coming on the show. I absolutely appreciate it. As I said, Like in the pre-show, I didn't. Look, I asked you for a quote, and I got a show out of it. So definitely appreciate it. You are talented. That could not be couldn't be said enough. And so we're definitely looking forward to some more music from you. And so with that being said, everyone, so this show is going to be on the Misty TV channel on Roku. And I'm going to play an outro, and I want you to hang around. I'll be right back in
Okay,
just a
cool.
second.